Good morning, good morning. How are you today? I am Shola. I guess you know that already if you're on my page. And I am the CEO of Balance with Dr. Shola, a life coaching company where I help women, professional women, get liberated from survival mode and live a life of balance. I talk about balance in the the 5 key areas of balance, which is physical, mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual balance. And one of the keys to living a life of balance is being able to manage your time effectively. I actually did this video in my group, which is also called Balance with Dr. Shola. And I do videos in my group every week. So every Monday evening, we're right there in the group doing live videos, and we pick a theme each week. This video, I felt it was so good that I decided to bring it to my main Facebook page. So, hi, Pastor Authority, how are you? Nice to see you. So here we are again. Here I am. I haven't done a live video on my Facebook page in a very long time, but I do this in my group. And, I will post a link to my group at the end, so you can feel free to join. We do great things there. Every week we pick a theme and we break it down. But today I'm going to be talking about time management. Time management. I meet people all the time who say things like, oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. And the things people don't have time to do are important things. So they're saying they're telling me they don't have time to exercise. They're telling me they don't have time to spend, they don't have enough time to spend with their children. They're telling me they don't have enough time to cook healthy meals for themselves. So if you are saying, I don't have time to do the things that are important, these tips are for you. Remember this. Everybody has 24 hours. A stay-at-home mom has 24 hours. Obama has 24 hours. You have 24 hours. I have 24 hours. A pilot, a doctor, the president, everybody has 24 hours. Now, how do you make those 24 hours work for you? So I'm just going to share 7 things, and I shared this in my group, and actually I did a long version of it in my e-course, the Gyrate Life course. But of course, this time it's going to be the short version because I know that people have things to do with their time. Okay, let's go. Number 1, know where your time is going. You need to know where your time is going. You have 24 hours. And in your mind, for example, if you think, oh, I have a 9-to-5 job, maybe not. Let me give you an example from my own life. When I was working outpatient medicine, one day I sat down and decided to take stock of my time and realized that I spent on the average 15 hours a week just driving because Chicago traffic is really bad. And towards the end of my time at that job, I was driving 1.5 hours each way. And at some point I figured, I could be doing something better with 15 hours a week than driving, I think. So know where your time is going. So you may think you have a 9-to-5 job, but if, let's say you have to leave at 6:30 in the morning, and I had an 8-to-5 most of the day's job, but I would leave at 6:30 and then not get home till 7. So my 9-to-5 or 8-to-5 very quickly became 6:30 to 7, which was like 13-hour days. So know where your time is going. Sit down. So how much time do you spend sleeping? How much time do you spend cooking? How much time do you spend on social media? How much time do you spend watching TV? How much time? Knowing if you want to free up time for yourself, you have to know where the time you have is already going. It's the same way when we ask people to do budgeting. My husband and I, we counsel people getting married, and one of the things we talk about is family finances and budgeting. We tell people do the same thing with their money. Know where your money is going. Every time you spend something, write it down, because every time you have to write $6 for a Starbucks coffee every single day, you find out that adds up to a pretty penny. We need to do the same thing with our time. Know where your time is going. Number 2, organize your life and your time around your true priorities. Why did I say your life? Because guess what? Your life is time. Your time is your life, and your life is just time. That's what life is, time. Every day goes by, days become weeks, become months, become years. And so learn to organize your time around your priorities. I didn't say someone else's priorities for you. I say your priorities. In order to that, you have to know what your priorities are. So definitely your priorities should be a balanced life, right? You should be tending to your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and relational aspects of your life, taking care of your relationships with your family, your spiritual state, your mental and emotional wellness and health, and of course your physical health. Those things should be a priority. In addition to those, what other priorities do you have? I meet people who tell me, I want to write a book. and I meet them the next year. I want to write a book. If writing a book is a priority for you, organize your time around it. If traveling is a priority for you, I want to travel. I like to see the world. I want to do different things and see different people. Organize your time around it. If you like to, whatever, even your hobbies, if there's something you like so much that you know, just gives you so much joy, you want to do it, I don't have time. Organize your time around your priorities. Find out what your priorities are. You may need to sit down, as my mentor says, have a meeting with yourself about yourself. Excuse me, let me adjust my chair. So, number 3, schedule. Schedule. My husband has a saying, what doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. My brother has a saying, one of these days is none of these days. So, schedule stuff. One day I was talking to someone, we wanted to set up a meeting, and she brought out this big old book and she penciled it in, hey, whatever works for you. Some people use Google Calendars. I use the Google Calendar, to schedule things, because a lot of times the older you get, the busier you get. There's not going to be a time where you're like, oh, when I'm done with this, everybody has, a lot of people have destination addiction. When I graduate, I'm a student. When I graduate, I'll have this time to do this. When I retire, or when my kids grow up, I'll have this time to do this. Or that's just chasing an illusion. Schedule your priorities and schedule them now. If something is a priority for you, schedule it. Okay, that's 3, right? Number 4, leverage the power of incremental change. That, my friends, is my secret. That's how you can write books even when you're busy. That's how you do things in small increments. Let me give you an example. If you want to write a book, I use writing a book a lot because I write books. I have an author coaching program. I write books. I coach authors, it's just something that's in my world a lot. So, but the principle is the same for most things. For example, if you want to write a book, if you write 30 minutes a day for about 500 words, in 6 months, you would have written 182 pages. That's more than a book. That could be 2 books, right? So we tell patients, work out for 150 minutes a week, and until you realize that's 30 minutes a day, right? You can work out for 30 minutes a day. If you don't have 30 minutes, do 15. So leveraging the power of incremental change so that when you look back, you would have done a whole lot with the time you have. So even though you have only 24 hours a day, you can do a lot with it. So because what happens is, if you have things you want to do that you know you want to do, you should do, and you don't have time to do them in little bits. Instead of waiting for, I'm waiting for when I have time to do X, Y, and Z. That is not going to happen. A chunk of time isn't going to fall on you from heaven and say, here's the time to do this. Okay. Number 5, now we're getting warmer, we're getting more serious. Set boundaries. So boundaries can come across as sounding cold, adversarial, selfish, calculating. But let me tell you something, boundaries are protection for you. A boundary is just saying what you will or will not do. Just like people's houses have boundary lines. So, if someone comes in, they're trespassing, this is your boundary line. Someone can't bring their dog to poop on your grass because you have a boundary line around your house. It's the same thing. If we have boundaries in our lives, people can't bring their metaphorical dogs to come and poop in our lives because we have boundaries. Okay? You have boundaries on your time. Personally, I don't take phone calls after 10 p.m. unless it's an emergency. I don't care who you are. And I remember a few years ago, someone just moved to the city and I was trying to help them out, and they would call me at all odd hours of the day. Then they started calling me late, and I had no, you don't know this person. After I just stopped picking the calls. If you call me after 10 p.m., I'm sorry. I am not going to answer you. There's only one person's voice I want to hear after 10 p.m., and that's my husband. Hello. So, again, another example of my time boundaries. I have 2 days in the year where I do not leave the house. I don't go anywhere. I just sit and I rest. I watch movies with my kids. We order food. We just hang out. Memorial Day and Labor Day. So if you're trying to invite me to a barbecue on those 2 days, I will not come. I am not coming. The only thing that would drag me out of my house on Memorial Day or Labor Day is an emergency. Well, if someone said they were giving out $1 million down the road, I might go for that. So I rest at home. So what are things in your life? Well, what time boundaries do you need to set in your life and enforce? Let me tell you something about boundaries. They create respect. Boundaries create respect. Have your time boundaries. Set boundaries. Don't just do anything at any time all the time. Have people pulling on you for your time here, there, and everywhere. Nowadays too, if people tell me they want to pick my brain, I say, okay, here you go. There's my that's my calendar. Book a session. You know, have boundaries. Have boundaries, and you will save time. When you start to set boundaries, you will find free time to do things you want to do, because it's like, okay, well, I don't have to do that in this time. I can do this other thing. Or maybe you've planned to do something and something else tries to get in the way. No, this is what I've planned to do at this time. Set boundaries. Number 6, eliminate time-wasting activities. They say that the average woman in the US watches 34 hours of TV a week. Now, I don't know who those women are, and if you're one of those women, no judgment, but that's a lot of time, okay? So if you're watching 34 hours of TV a week, you should not be saying, I don't have time to exercise, I don't have time to eat healthy, I don't have time to call my mother, or something like that, okay? Instead of to eliminate time-wasting activities, you need to be ruthless and you need to be truthful. Sit down and write down what the things that waste your time. Is it social media? A lot of people waste a lot of time on social media, myself included. But I've learned how to shut that stuff off. You know, at some point you have to just, you know, okay, no, I'm not doing this. Or set a time. You can even set a timer. When the timer goes off, you get up and you go. Right? Time-wasting activities, learn to eliminate them. And even if you can't eliminate them in one fell swoop, for example, let's say you're one of those people who watch 35 hours of TV a week. And you say, oh, I don't have time to read books, or I don't have time to talk to a coach. Guess what? Out of those 5 hours a day, right? 5, 7. So it's either 7 hours a day if it's Monday to Friday, or it's 5 hours a day if it's Monday through Sunday, right? So take 2 hours out of those 5 hours a day and read a book. Hello. There you go. See, I just bought you 10 hours. So, sometimes time-wasting activities are in the form of people. There are some people who, once they call you, they expect you to drop everything and attend to what they want. No, I'm not talking about babies, obviously. I'm talking about grown adults who you, as Henry Higgins sang, they will beg you for advice. Your reply will be concise. They will listen very nice and then go out and do precisely what they want, right? Those people are the people I'm talking about. We all have them in our lives. They will talk, and they expect you to drop everything. And what if you're like, well, can you call back later? Well, nobody, I know these days, nobody has time for me. You need to grow a crocodile skin when it comes to people like that. The truth is that givers have to set boundaries because takers never do. And people will do what they can get away with. If people know they can emotionally blackmail you into wasting time with them, they will do it. Okay? So sometimes your time-wasting activities can be people. So eliminate time as much as possible, time-wasting activities, so that at the end of the day, when you look back, you would have had a productive day. Okay. Number 7, last but not the least, say no to say yes. Say no to say yes. Say no to say yes. Some of us need to become skilled in using the power of no. No, thank you. I will think about it. I don't have time for that right now. I'm currently focusing on this priority. Therefore, I don't have time to do this at the moment. No, thank you. Thank you for considering me, but I won't be able to take this up at this time. I don't have the bandwidth for this right now. I'm giving you all these variations of no. No is no. And no is a complete sentence. Okay? So, don't hesitate to say no to things that are a time suck. There's something for me that unscheduled phone calls, like, if you want to call, can I call you at so and so time? Yeah, let's schedule that. Because the truth is that most of the time when people call me, all of a sudden I'm in the middle of something. I'm either writing or talking to a client or attending to my kids or attending to my husband or something. So if you call me I'm most likely in the middle of somebody. If you text me, I can look on my calendar and say, okay, I can do this. Some people live their lives around unscheduled phone calls and end up getting nothing done during the day, and the time is just wasted. Some activities have no end goal. We talked about people who themselves are a time suck. You can't go to every event that pops up, I'm sorry, but I have another event that day. I'm sorry. Prioritize, right? Prioritize, prioritize, prioritize. You know, if you're one of those people like I am, people, can I pick your brain? Can I pick your brain? Can I pick your brain? You know what? Before, yeah, okay. But now, you know, schedule a session and we can talk if you want coaching or anything like that. But don't call me asking me to pick my brain, because my brain ain't available to be picked, because it takes up a lot of time. Okay? Volunteer activities. Okay? Now, let me talk to my church folk. Now, everybody here doesn't go to church, and that's fine. I have friends on my page who are Christian, Muslim, atheists, you know, New Age practitioners, everybody. But let me just take a minute and talk to my church folks. You don't have to do everything in church. You don't have to be in everything in church. Pick one thing that you really like, that you know God has called you to do, and do it to the best of your ability. Don't be in 3, 4, 5 different things. You are the one in evangelism. You are the one in choir. You are the one in ushering. You are the one in follow-up. You are the one. If you're doing this, where do you have time to actually go out into the world that Jesus told you to do? Go out into the world with the good news. You don't have time. A human being is a finite resource, and there are only 24 hours in a day. And if you think that doing more church activities mean God loves you more, let me just disabuse your mind of that notion. That is not the case. God loves you no matter what, right? Think of yourself. If you are a parent, do you love your child based on how many chores they do? Isn't that, when you put it down to human terms, it sounds really, really ridiculous. And we know we're practical, right? We know churches. If we go to a church, we want to be part of that community, doing things, helping people, etc. But guess what? You are not required to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. And yes, tell them I said so. Run, tell that. You're not required to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Do what you can. You cannot do everything, be everywhere, or please everyone. It's not possible. It's a myth. So, but this may apply to you whether you're in church or not in church. You cannot do everything, be everywhere, or please everyone. You just have to do what you can, when you can, and in the best way you can do it. Now, another thing to say no to are things that you can delegate. If you think, the other day somebody said, I said something about having a house cleaner, and the person said, you're rich. I said, it's not a matter of rich. Look, if I decide to clean my house, it may take me anywhere between 7 to 8 hours to do it. If I pay these 3 women to come and clean my house, it takes them 3 hours and $120. In 8 hours. So in theory, I would pay myself $120 for 8 hours. Dude, my hourly rate is $297 for coaching. That's my hourly rate. I'd rather go do an hour of coaching and then take that money and pay someone to clean my house. You see, so it's not a matter of rich or poor. It's a matter of saving time so that you can say yes to the best, so that you can do things that are your best and highest. Right now in our lives, we shouldn't be thinking of, someone, I have this thing. How can I do it? It should be, what is my best and highest use in this situation? Save time. That's how I have time to do all the things I do. Full-time job, full-time business, mother of 2 very active kids with all their activities. I don't say yes to everything. I don't. So many people approach me for business opportunities, network marketing, this and that. I have things I will say no to right off the bat without even thinking, no matter how attractive it is. So I have a laundry list of things that I say no to. And honestly, there are more than the things that I say yes to. That's why I can say yes to the best and be at my best and highest, and use my time for my best and highest use. So to recap, 1, know where your time is going. 2, organize your time around your true priorities. 3, schedule. 4, leverage the power of incremental change. 5, set boundaries. 6, eliminate time-wasting activities. And 7, say no so you can say yes. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. Share this video. It's on my Facebook page, so you can share it. You can And if you want to join my group, I'll post the link in the comments, and you can just click through and join. If you want to, if you like me and you want me to be your coach, you know, where I can take you from that place of disorganization and frazzled and survival mode to a place of peace and balance, and of course, multi-dimensional success, you can send me a Facebook message. You can go to my website, www.sholashade.com. That's SHOLASHADE, sholashade.com, to sign up for coaching services, order my books, and, you know, and generally just see what I'm about. So have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. Right now, I have to go and visit a venue for my next event. So have yourself a wonderful day and stay blessed. Bye-bye.